if we follow Rishi's plans, we are headed for a recession.
Can we really get an answer? Liz, in your past, you've been both a Liberal Democrat and a Remainer. I was just wondering which one you regretted most.
Whatever Rishi says now, we did not need to raise national insurance.
So I don't think the responsible thing to do right now is launch into some unfunded spree of borrowing and more debt. That will just make inflation worse.
He is talking about raising taxes at a time when there is a global economic crisis.
Liz, we have to be honest. We have to be honest. But borrowing your way out of inflation isn't a plan. It's a fairy tale.
I don't believe this negative, declinist language.
It's your own economic
hearing.
advisor, Liz. Your plans would mean that interest rates would have to go up to around 7%.
We have inflation because of our monetary policy. If we put up taxes, which is what Rishi is proposing, companies are less likely to invest in the United Kingdom, and we're more likely to be heading to a recession. I'm not putting it on the never. I would start paying it down in 3 years.
Liz, that's simply not right. You promised almost £40 billion of unfunded tax cuts, £40 billion more borrowing.
The tax has been raised on families through national insurance. I do think it is morally wrong at this moment when families are struggling to pay for their food that we have put up taxes on ordinary people when we said we wouldn't in our manifesto.
I think what's morally wrong is asking our children and grandchildren to pick up the tab for the bills that we're not prepared to meet.
This Chancellor has raised taxes to the highest rate for 70 years.
Right.
And we're now predicted a recession.
OK,
Liz wants to cut the taxes for big business.
Well,
I don't think that's fair.
We will...
Well, let's just take on this, right? So
Rishi's policies are making us less competitive.
Inflation is the enemy that makes everybody poorer, and it must be the government's priority to get a grip of it.
He is talking about raising taxes at a time when there is a global economic crisis. I saw them not get the opportunities, not get the proper educational standards that you might have got at your school, Rishi.
Liz, your own economic advisor, your own economic advisor has said that your plans would mean that interest rates would have to go up to around 7%.
It's wrong that we currently have the highest tax burden in this country that we've had for 70 years.
Your proposals would mean that we get the short-term sugar rush of unfunded borrowed tax cuts, but that would be followed by the crash of higher prices and higher mortgage rates, and that is not something that I want to cause for anyone here.
You've just put in the highest tax rate for 70 years. How on earth can you claim that that's going to drive economic growth? And where have the growth policies been for the past 2.5 years to drive investment into our towns and cities?